Dear students, as is visible that we have to study our cell structure and function. Why should we study this chapter? What will we learn after studying this chapter? What is the benefit of studying this chapter? Are so many questions that rise in your brain. Have you ever wondered why were you taught two kinds of things in the nature? One is the living thing, another being a non-living thing. You were taught that non-living things are made up of atoms and molecules, whereas the living things are made up of cell. Now, what is that cell? What is it made up of? And what is the structure of cell? That questions were not answered till then. So here is the time that you get to know about that cell. Please take this chapter seriously because same chapter is going to be taught in class 9 as well, and then it will be taught in class 11 as well for the deeper information. So if you study it nicely now, it will help you out to excel in the future. What are the objectives of learning this chapter? We will be able to define cell and to classify it into eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. We will be able to know about cell theory. We will be able to classify animals based on their cell number, shape, and size in order to describe unicellular and multicellular animals. Will be able to list the different parts and functions of a typical cell in order to appreciate the unit structure in an organism. We will be able to distinguish between plant and animal cells to explain the function of cell wall, and many other things which are not mentioned in these objectives may also be fulfilled. So if we begin our chapter, then we come to know about the chapter like this: that cell is the structural and functional unit of life. This is the definition of cell. It can also be called as a fundamental unit of life. In class 9, this is the name of chapter. Every living thing, whether it is a small bacteria or it's a giant blue whale, whether it's a big or small, is made up of one or more cell. We will discuss this line again in the next slide. We will also come to know that living things are made up of cell. Those living things which are made up of one cell are called unicellular living things. For example, few pictures are given in the slide like amoeba, paramecium, some bacteria. In microorganism chapter you saw different shapes of bacteria. So that's shown here. Yeast is a fungus, that is also a unicellular living thing. On the other hand, those living things which are made up of more than one cell are called multicellular living things. For example, we got mammals, trees, worms, insects, and many other invertebrates also are falling in this category. We have to know who discovered cell, so we will look into the next slide, but the name is given here only first, that is Robert Hooke. It's treated as the first one who discovered cell. All the functions performed by a living thing in our body is actually performed by the cell. For example, in a factory, the workers do work, and effect is on the factory. We say that factory is working, but in the factory who is working? That is the worker. So who is the structural and functional unit of that factory? The worker. So our worker is the cell. So that is why cell is also called functional unit. Structure of a living thing depends upon structure of a cell. That is why cell is also called a structural unit of life. Here also we come to know that new cell occurs from an old cell. This picture shows a very iconic picture. It's a replica of Hooke's microscope. Who is the Hooke? Who discovered cell? What type of cell he saw? That is shown in this picture here. Different books show different colors, but overall thing is that it is looking like a honeycomb like structure. If the slide is clear, let's make switch to another slide. These are the two legends due to which study of cell has become very like easy for us. Study of cell, the science that deals with the study of cell is called cytology. The study of cell is called cytology. I want you to write spelling of cytology in the chat box. I want you to write spelling of cytology in the chat box. Come on. I want you to write spelling of cytology in the chat box. Cyto, sorry, wrong answer. So here, that's why I want you to know this one. It is cytology. You did not hear it properly. Very good. It is cytology, and cyto means cell, logos means science. Cyto means cell, logos means science. So science that deals with the study of cell is called cytology. My dear students, we want to know that Robert Hooke, when he was studying a slice of cork, cork वो होता है जो generally we use as lid in the medicines jar. So that cork is made up of bark of a tree or wood pulp. So that is actually a dead part. So the slice of that cork was studied under the microscope, and he saw these many holes in that. So every hole was actually bounded by boundary, so that he saw that boundaried or compartment like structure. So when you travel in a train, you sit in a compartment. Compartment means a closed box like structure, a closed room like structure. So that room or compartment in certain dictionary is called cell. So cell means a room or compartment. So that is why he said each and every small box over here is called room. Is called room. You have to maintain muteness of the mic. Please mute your mic. Now we also see here that this figure is little different from what you saw in the previous slide, but I think the only concept to remember over here is that the room like structure or compartment like structure that you see in this picture, that is actually each one is called cell. Then little revolution take place in the next decade of the same century, that was done by Antony von Leeuwenhoek. He observed a live cell in a bacteria. He observed and described it too. So there are two people in this picture right now. One is Robert Hooke, who discovered cell, and one is A.V. Leeuwenhoek, who observed live cell. Next, let us understand, my dear students, that cell was discovered, but its detailed its theory was given by these three people in the world of cytology. Number one is M.J. Scleden, and number two is Theodor Swan. M.J. Scleden generally observed that plants are composed of cells. They he did this in 1838, and at the same time in 1839, Theodor Swan reported that cells had a thin outer layer which was called plasma membrane. Okay? And he also found that plant cells have cell wall. He proposed a hypothesis that animals and plants are composed of cells and product of cells. Hypothesis is the primary sentence or preliminary sentence, or any kind of thought given by certain person, which is not supported by any evidence or any experiment. But when it is proved by any experiment, then it becomes a law. ठीक है? when certain research is done before the experiment, then it becomes a theory. Okay, then theory becomes law, and hypothesis can be discarded. Theory can also be challenged, but law is experimentally proved term. So here is the hypothesis, which was later on supported by another person who are called Rudolf Virchow. Rudolf Virchow explained that cells divide and new cells are formed from pre-existing cells, which was called omnis cellulae cellula. So this was written as a book, and in that book only he described or explained that cells divide and new cells are formed from pre-existing cells. He also modified the cell theory in certain time, and then he also gave that how living things are composed of cells and products of cells, and all cells arise from the pre-existing cell. Let me give you one insight that let me give you one insight that all living things, big or small, are made up of one or more cells. New cells arise from pre-existing cells by cell division. Cells may structurally or may be similar but not identical. Cells may be structurally similar but not identical, and functions performed by any living things is basically performed by a cell. A cell contributes to a structure of any living thing, hence it's called a structural unit of living thing. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. And one more thing I want to add up over here, that size of the cell does not determine size of the body, but number of cells may determine the number of size of the body. I am showing PPT. Is the PPT visible to all of you? Is the PPT visible to all of you? Please give your answer. Is the PPT visible to all of you? No. Okay, ठीक है. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Right now I want to show you the points of cell theory. Okay? Right now I am showing you the points of cell theory, in which I am reading something that I have written for you right here. The size of the cells does not determine size, but the body size of the body, but number of cells determine size of the body. What does it mean? It means that even some cells in the ant can be bigger than some cells in the blue whale, but number of cells in the ant is very less in comparison to the number of cells in a blue whale. So in this way we come to conclusion that size of the cell does not determine size of the body, but number of cells determine the size of the body. Now I am changing the screen to be shared. I'm changing the screen to be shared, and that's like here. So you get to see this slide now. My dear students, let us move ahead. So my dear students, when we come to study about the cell, then we find there are varieties of cell. Varieties of cells का मतलब कैसे? So अगर हम छोटे से छोटे organisms की बात करेंगे, let me start with amoeba. Then amoeba is a unicellular living thing, but this amoeba also eats something, and when it eats something, that means something which is smaller than that. So there are some cells which are smaller even than amoeba, and that is called diatom. So the shape of diatom can be seen in this slide over here. This is irregular shaped amoeba, but there is a fixed shape of this diatom. There is a fixed shape of this fibroblast. I want you to note down this word and find out as a part of research. What is fibroblast? Okay? What is goblet cell? What is goblet cell and what is fibroblast? You have to find out. You have to find out. Another thing is that there is a sperm cell which will be taught in the next chapter of this book. next chapter of this book. It is a male gamete. It is also a kind of cell. So shape of cell can be visible here. There is a cell whose shape is as like it is narrow at the end and broad in the middle. So that is spindle shape of muscle cell. Spindle shape of muscle cell. There is one fat cell. I want you to note down the name of this fat cell. You eat fats, you get fats. So fats have got made of some cells. They are also present in our body. So that fat cells are looking like this. You know WBC. WBC is named as leukocyte in technical terms. So the WBC has ability to change their shape because they have to run through the blood vessel everywhere to fight across our body against the disease causing germs. So this is leukocyte, which is actually WBC we know commonly. RBCs are very small and the lifespan is very short. There is another kind of cell, this a branched and tree like structure. This kind of cell is called nerve cell. Generally we call, in neurology we call it neurons. So they are the longest cells. Longest I mean, not largest, I mean longest. Largest cell is actually the egg of an ostrich. An egg of an ostrich. The smallest cell is a bacteria called mycoplasma. It is a pneumonia like organism. Okay? But the question arises, how do we measure the cell? Size of the cell. So unit of measurement for the cell is actually, since it is a microscopic living thing or a microscopic component, so it can be measured by micron. So the unit is called micron. It's written as mu. Okay na? Symbol is not given here. You find out the symbol of micron. Now, it 1 micron is equal to 10 inverse 6 मीटर. यानी कि 1 मीटर को अगर आप 6 जीरो के साथ 1 के साथ नंबर से उसको आप डिवाइड करेंगे, तब whatever the value you get, that is called 1 micron. So 10 inverse 6 meter. How next important thing is that for the very small lengths we use angstrom. Angstrom and nanometer. So 1 angstrom symbol is written here. Angstrom is equal to 10 inverse 10 meter, whereas 1 nanometer is equal to 10 inverse 9 meter. Whose value is bigger? Now you have to compare. Is it angstrom's value bigger or the nanometer's value bigger? So in this way we complete this part, shape of the cell and size of the cell. If it is clear, please give your thumbs up in the chat box. If this is clear, then please give thumbs up in the chat box. Sometimes net instability may cause cracking of the sound. I will share this PPT with all of you at the end of this chapter. You need to keep your pencil with you and you need to keep your notepad with you. Understood? So here in this way you will be able to relate whatever has been taught to you. PPTs have only PowerPoints, not the whole notes. Alright, so let's move ahead in the next slide. Dear children, we all have discussed about shape and size of the cell, but at the same time we need to understand tools and techniques. How it is possible for us to study the cell. So the first important tool that was used to study the cell is called microscope. Alright, it is a device that is helpful for us to see the microorganisms or micro components. Now this is the tool. Tool can be also glass slide. Materials required is glass slide, and we can also have some thin piece of the specimen, and we will also use some kind of colors and dyes in studying this. Also study using some blotting paper. These are some of the tools which can be used as aid. Right now here, what is, let us label this microscope. Keep your eyes and ears open. Listen. Can you see this pointer here? Please give me your answer. Can you see this pointer here? Verbally somebody unmute and tell me. Can you see this pointer here? Alright, so this area is remaining near the eyes while we study any microscopic organism. Then this is called eyepiece. Here is a lens which is fixed of different powers. Okay? This lens of different power is fixed over here. So this is called eyepiece. Then this is called neck. Okay? And this is the neck area, and then this area is the lens which is remaining near object which is to be studied. So these are called objective lens. This is the coarse adjustment screw. It helps this neck to get up and get down. Okay? This is the fine adjustment screw which helps us to sharpen the image. This is the backbone of this microscope. This is the body entirely. Okay? And here is the stage. This is the stage where slide is kept with the help of holder and clip over here. Here is the aperture through which light from here comes. Where does this light come from? This light comes from the sunlight. ठीक है ना, sun. So sunlight is reflected by this reflector, and then it gets in through this hole, falling on the slide, and helps us to see from here. Then this is the foot of this microscope. So in this way, the whole design of this microscope, this is actually compound microscope which is used in the laboratory. Understood? There were various generations of microscope starting from magnifying glass, which is called simple microscope, and this is called compound microscope. Nowadays the third generation of microscopes like electronic microscopes are also into uses. Bigger and bigger microscopes with the highest magnifying power have been used in the microbiology laboratories. Alright, so let us understand techniques now. First, whenever you have to study any specimen, then first you have to clean a glass slide and place it on a flat surface of the table. Now place a drop of water in the center of the slide. Center of the slide. Alright, on the other hand, then you have to carry forward with place a thin piece of the specimen to be viewed on the water drop on the slide. A drop of stain. Stain का मतलब होता है color, dye और may be added on the slide. Example, जैसे आपने कभी नाम सुना होगा iodine solution. ठीक है, एक नाम और ऐड करो, methylene blue और या crystal violets. These are called coloring agents. So इसको stains बोलते हैं हम लोग, right? Why do we use a stain? To highlight the particular part of any specimen so that it's clearly distinctly visible to the observer, right? Hold the cover slip over the object and gently lower the cover slip. Cover slip hota hai so that dust particles do not infect or do not defect the specimen. Also you have to dry the extra water by blotting paper. जैसे आप तौलिया यूज करके अपना फेस को ड्राई करते हो, वैसे you have to use blotting paper to dry up the extra water, right? Now place the slide under the microscope. Finally your specimen is ready to be observed under the microscope. That's how the tools and techniques can be dealt. अगर हम इस tool और technique को use करते हैं तो सबसे पहले हम लोग क्या करेंगे? We will take one onion, not to eat, just to peel off one cover from the onion. Alright, note down, peel off one cover from the onion, or you can research, you can also check in your book also. So peel off one onion और उसमें से एक cover लेकर लेना है, and from that inside edge, not from the outside part, from the inside surface, you have to scratch with the help of forceps and extract one very thin layer membrane like structure will be extracted. Now place it on the slide. Now place it on the slide, and then you will be able to place it on the slide and follow these tools and techniques. Follow this technique. Place it on the slide and add some amount of stain on it. First of all straight कर लेना, wrinkle होगा तो it will be disturbing to see, तो आप उसको straight कर लो needle के साथ, and then iodine methylene blue कुछ भी डाल दो उसके ऊपर, 2 drop. Then your cover slip will be used to cover it अगर आप उसको preserve करना चाहते हो. Otherwise you can blot it with the blotting paper and study under the microscope. When you study it under the microscope, then you see this kind of structure. You will see this kind of compartment like structure. This compartment like structure has got one small spherical thing in the inside. So that compartment like structure, entire structure, you can see this is called cytoplasm. ठीक है, ये पूरा एरिया साइटोप्लाज्म कहा गया. और उसके अंदर जो ये स्फेरिकल पार्ट दिखाई दिया, दिस पार्ट वाज कॉल्ड न्यूक्लियस। अब बताइए, लुकिंग एट दिस फिगर, is it a plant cell or animal cell? I want to get your information in the chat box. Is that a plant cell or animal cell? Sorry, is it a plant cell or animal cell? Please give your chat, give answer. Somebody is raising hand. Who is this? Who is this? Who has raised hand? Ayush. Come on, Ayush. Speak up. Ayush, speak up. Yes, because it has no internal source of light. So sunlight is the only source. Sun is the only source of light for that microscope, and you cannot see anything clearly in the darkness. So that's why in order to see a clear picture, you need to use sunlight for the compound microscope. But there are some other microscopes which are using beam of electron. They are using electricity as a source of light. Understood? So now, getting back to our topic, some children have given answer, plant cell. Wow, very good. I give a like to this message. This is response rate of the class. Everyone has to respond. Hmm. Let us go ahead with the topic now. Here, tool and techniques is clear. अब यही tool and technique एक और बार use करना है. You can use a toothpick and you can scratch inside the jaw very gently. Do not take risk. Do it under the supervision of elder. I would suggest don't do it, but for the laboratory purpose study somebody has to do. So वो क्या होता है कि if you scratch it under inside the door, inside the jaw, jaw के जगह पे, हाँ ठीक है, चीक में करो, jaw के अंदर मत करो, चीक में करो. It is safe to do the cheek cell. So in the cheek कब करोगे तो एक particle आपके toothpick पे आएगा. So on the toothpick you will get some particle. Keep it on the microscope and follow the technique like this. If you follow the technique like this and then you will study under the microscope, then you will see such picture. There are so many small compartments filled up with one spherical compartment in the center. So now this is the nucleus and the entire area is called cytoplasm. अब आप बताइए कि is this animal cell or plant cell? Please tell me in the chat box. Is this animal cell or plant cell? Is it animal cell or plant cell? Give your answer in the chat box. Is it animal cell or plant cell? Animal cell. Very good. So now I feel that the concept is clear, right? Give your thumbs up after writing animal cell. Give your thumbs up after writing animal cell if the slide is clear. If the slide is clear, give thumbs up in the chat box and let's move ahead. After writing animal cell, give your thumbs up. Very good. So now we move ahead to the next slide. My dear students, when we further started using the tools and techniques, we got to know more about more about cell by the use of microscope. Microscope का power बढ़ाया गया, more magnification power. So higher powerful microscopes were used to study the further features of particular cell, and then we were able to classify the type of cells into two types. One was called eukaryotic and other was called prokaryotic. So eukaryotic means true nucleus and prokaryotic means false. False का मतलब वो भी आपको बहुत incipient, very primary nucleus, primitive nucleus. Prokaryotic and eukaryotic. I must write in the chat box. There were two types of cells. Types of cells were eukaryotic and prokaryotic. So which of these came first? Can you give me answer? Which of these came first? Eukaryotic or prokaryotic? Which of these came first? Prokaryotic. Give a big like to this message. Very good. Prokaryotic came first. Very good. Prokaryotic cells came first. Pro means primitive. तो अब देखते हैं यहाँ पे prokaryotic cells के features. Prokaryotic cells do not have membrane bound nucleus and cell organelles. उनके membranes मिसिंग रहते हैं, केवल आउटर सेल में मेम्ब्रेन होता है, बाकी अंदर में कोई मेम्ब्रेन बाउंडिंग नहीं है, सभी एक दूसरे से फ्लोटिंग कर रहे हैं. एवरी पार्टिकल इज फ्लोटिंग इनसाइड द प्लाज्मा. ठीक है. दे आर जनरली स्मॉलर एंड मल्टीप्लाई मोर रैपिडली देन द यूकैरियोटिक सेल्स. Okay, and they vary in shape and size. Example: bacteria, blue green algae, mycoplasma, which is also called PPLO, full form Luro pneumonia like organism. तो ये सब बहुत छोटे बैक्टीरिया होते हैं और वो इंसिपिएंट न्यूक्लियस के साथ होते हैं. दे आर नॉट बाउंडेड विद द बाउंड्री. लेकिन ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड आप देखोगे that there is a very organized compartmental structure shown in the cell. चाहे वो amoeba ही क्यों ना हो और other animal cells क्यों ना हो, they are very well organized. You can see they have the well organized membrane bound nucleus. आगे यहाँ देखो ये सब न्यूक्लियस का मेम्ब्रेन के साथ बाउंडेड है, ये भी न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन के साथ न्यूक्लियस है, यहाँ भी मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड है, यहाँ भी. So these all are membrane bound nucleus and organelles. इसके अंदर जो साइटोप्लाज्म होता है, इट लुक्स लाइक अ वेरी डेवलप्ड टिफिन बॉक्स. जैसे टिफिन बॉक्स में कैसे होता है, सब्जी का एक खाना अलग है और रोटी का अलग है और चटनी अलग में डालते हैं. सो वो जो मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड स्ट्रक्चर होता है, दैट क्रिएट्स अ कंपार्टमेंट लाइक स्ट्रक्चर. ठीक है. सो वेरी वेल ऑर्गेनाइज्ड, अरेंज्ड लाइक कंपार्टमेंट ड्यू टू मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड ऑर्गेनल्स. Now in that way they have a very complex locomotory. Locomotory means होता है movement organ and cytoskeletal structures means होते हैं वो particular structure which gives support to the cell from inside. तो स्केलेटल सिस्टम का क्या काम होता है, सपोर्टिंग. सो इस सेल के अंदर भी एक इमेजिनरी स्केलेटल सिस्टम होता है. वी कॉल देम साइटोस्केलेटल स्ट्रक्चर्स. Next, their genetic materials are organized into chromosomes. So this is what we have seen in the types of cells. इस चीज को समराइज करने के लिए I have prepared the table in this. So ये टेबल में आप देखोगे कि प्रोकैरियोटिक are generally smaller in size, eukaryotics are larger in size. Prokaryotic or genetic material is in the form of nucleoid, not nucleus. Nucleoid. ठीक है. On the other hand, it is in the form of nucleus. Here nuclear membrane is absent, but here nuclear membrane is present. Here the membrane bound organelles are absent, but here in this case membrane bound organelles are present. DNA is circular in shape in the case of prokaryotic cells, whereas it's linear in shape in case of eukaryotic cells. हालांकि ये दोनों पॉइंट्स आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है, बट फॉर द सेक ऑफ एडवांसमेंट यू हैव बीन गिवन दिस पॉइंट्स. राइबोसोम्स आर 70S type and here it is 80S type. This is what you have come to know about the types of cells called eukaryotic, as well as I have not written over here by purpose. You have to write 5 prokaryotic. Is the slide clear? Give your thumbs up in the chat box. Is the slide clear? Give your thumbs up in the chat box. In winter, when we scratch our skin, a white substance comes out. Can this be used under a microscope to study animal cells? Yes, you can try. Very good. Now the responses have come. Please keep giving responses. It takes only one moment to click on the particular thumbs up icon. That gives me idea that you have learned it. Later on, test will take place, but now you have to give me the quick response. Well, let us move ahead with the next point. My dear students, अब बात करते हैं structure of cell. With the help of microscope, many scientists have been able to see various structures and various particles in the cell, and that has been very good for us in the study of cytology. Okay? Let us see how does a cell look like. And just because this picture is given here in the slide, don't understand that this is cell. You have to use your logical and reasoning skill also. What parts are visible? So then only you will be able to understand what is cell. Is it cell or something else? Let us begin. Since a cell is a structural unit, but it is also made up of certain regions, certain things, let us see what are those. Basically, a cell can be divided into 3 regions. 3 regions. I have written 5 over here to make it more simpler. but basically it is divided into 3 regions. ठीक है, first is cell membrane. First is cell membrane. Cell membrane is found in both plant cell and animal cell. लेकिन एक पार्ट और आ जाता है प्लांट सेल में, एडअप हो जाता है और उसको कहते हैं सेल वॉल. तो हम लोग सेल वॉल और सेल मेम्ब्रेन को इसलिए ऐड कर दिया यहाँ पे, जिससे बन गया 4 और एक बढ़ेंगे. छोटा सा ऑर्गेनल वो ऐसा है which is not present in the animal cell or some are present only in the plant cell. So in that way the cell inclusion का एक पार्ट हमने डाल दिया यहाँ पे, इसलिए ये बन गया 5 टोटल एरिया. Second region is nucleus. Nucleus is the central part. अब आपको ये बताना है, I will not tell you that this is nucleus, just for a joke. So now here we want to understand the third region is cytoplasm. तो अब आप इस पिक्चर को देखोगे और समझोगे कि अगर एक सेल को, यहाँ एक सेल को एक पोटैटो का पीस की तरह दिखाया गया है, मीन्स 3 डायमेंशनल पिक्चर. सो ये 3 डायमेंशनल पिक्चर को इसलिए दिखाया गया है कि यू डोंट एज्यूम दैट सेल इज लाइक अ डिस्क. नो, सेल इज अ सब्सटेंस, मिनिएचर बॉल लाइक स्ट्रक्चर हो सकता है या कुछ ऐसा भी हो सकता है. तो वो एक 3 डायमेंशनल फिगर है. अंडरस्टूड. सो इन द 3 डायमेंशनल फिगर में आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि जो आउटर लेयर है, ये देखो चारों तरफ से ये कटिंग सेक्शन भी दिखाया गया आपके पिक्चर में. सो दिस कटिंग सेक्शन के ऊपर सबसे लेयर जो होता है, ये ऊपर का लेयर जो है, दिस इज व्हाट यू ड्रॉ इन द 2 डायमेंशनल पिक्चर इन अ पेज. तो ये आउटर लेयर को हम लोग बोलते हैं सेल मेम्ब्रेन. वी कॉल इट सेल मेम्ब्रेन. ठीक है, ये सेल मेम्ब्रेन है. ये ऐसे भी जा सकता है डायरेक्ट, तो इसको सेल मेम्ब्रेन बोलते हैं. नाउ सेल मेम्ब्रेन इज मेड अप ऑफ प्रोटीन एंड लिपिड. आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है वैसे, लेकिन आपको बता देते हैं, इट इज मेड अप ऑफ प्रोटीन एंड लिपिड. जैसे सैंडविच खाते हैं तो 2 लेयर ब्रेड का और 1 लेयर वेज का. सो द वेज जो है वो प्रोटीन का है और ऊपर नीचे जो ब्रेड है उसको कहते हैं लिपिड. ठीक है, तो लिपिड का 2 लेयर और प्रोटीन का 1 लेयर. सो ये दोनों मिलके बनाते हैं मेम्ब्रेन, प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन का स्ट्रक्चर. अंडरस्टूड. सो उसको सैंडविच मॉडल कहते हैं. वेल, इन दैट वे यू विल सी दैट दिस मेम्ब्रेन इज मेड अप ऑफ प्रोटीन एंड लिपिड्स. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर सेल. इसीलिए आपको प्रोटीन खाने के लिए बोलता है, ताकि आपका डैमेज सेल रिपेयर हो जाए और आपको ग्रोथ में नया सेल मदद करे. सो यू हैव टू ईट प्रोटीन एंड लिपिड्स इन अ बैलेंस्ड डाइट. अच्छा, आगे बढ़ते हैं. सो फ्रॉम द सेल मेम्ब्रेन टू द न्यूक्लियस, ये जो एंटायर एम्प्टी रीजन है, ये ब्रॉड रीजन जो है, लग रहा है कि ब्रह्मपुत्र का रिवर है. सो दिस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड ऑफ एरिया इज कॉल्ड साइटोप्लाज्म. साइटो का मतलब होता है सेल, प्लाज्म का मतलब होता है फ्लूइड. सो साइटोप्लाज्म is made up of many important nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, water, minerals. हाँ, उनमें क्या क्या पाया जाएगा? एलिमेंट्स का नाम बताइए. कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन, ऑक्सीजन, नाइट्रोजन. हाँ, many important elements are present in this. So this is a home of all the functional processes taking place in our life. हमारे लाइफ में रेस्पिरेशन हो रहा है, हमारे लाइफ में ग्रोथ हो रहा है, डाइजेशन हो रहा है, एसिमिलेशन हो रहा है. ये सब कहाँ हो रहा है अल्टीमेटली? दिस इज एक्चुअली बीन taking place in the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is a place for all the functions taking place inside our body. That is why cell is called functional unit. ये साइटोप्लाज्म का जो है, इसके अंदर 2 रीजन्स होते हैं. 2 regions have been divided into 2 regions. One is the liquid part. जो पूरा liquid part है, this liquid part is called cytosol. साइटो का मतलब होता है सेल, सोल का मतलब होता है सॉल्यूशन, लिक्विड. So yes, liquid part जो है, that is called cytosol. Whereas other which are floating in the ये लंबा ये structure, all these structures which are floating in the cytosol area is called cell organelles. ठीक है, तो सेल ऑर्गेनल्स प्लस साइटोसोल मेकअप साइटोप्लाज्म. सेल ऑर्गेनल्स प्लस साइटोसोल इज इक्वल टू साइटोप्लाज्म. ठीक है, साइटोसोल प्लस सेल ऑर्गेनल इज इक्वल टू साइटोप्लाज्म. अब साइटोप्लाज्म प्लस न्यूक्लियस, एक टर्म दे रहा हूं यहाँ पे, न्यूक्लियस इज इक्वल टू प्रोटोप्लाज्म. प्रोटो, यही एकमात्र पार्ट है जिसको हम लोग लिविंग पार्ट ऑफ द सेल कहते हैं, प्रोटोप्लाज्म। ठीक है, सो फाइनली वी गेट टू नो दैट ये प्रोटोप्लाज्म प्लस सेल मेम्ब्रेन, प्रोटोप्लाज्म प्लस सेल मेम्ब्रेन सेल मेम्ब्रेन इज इक्वल टू अ सेल। ठीक है, तो पूरा सेल का स्ट्रक्चर आपको इस समरी में मिल गया। हाँ, अब ये साइटोप्लाज्म जो है सेल ऑर्गेनल्स और साइटोसोल से बनता है, और साइटोप्लाज्म प्लस न्यूक्लियस क्या बना देते हैं, प्रोटॉन बना देते हैं, और उसके साथ प्रोटोप्लाज्म प्लस सेल मेम्ब्रेन क्या बनेगा, इसका मतलब सेल। सो द एंटायर सेल is actually protoplasm plus cell membrane. Cell membrane is also called plasma membrane. Cell membrane is also called plasma membrane. My dear students, let's go ahead with the next topic now. ठीक है, so in this case when we study about the cell organelles, then cell organelles are of several kinds. There are many cell organelles present in our cell, but some have been shortlisted for your class syllabus. Number one, we will take care of the endoplasmic reticulum. अगर कोई आपको डिफाइन करने को बोलेगा what is cell organelle, तो आपको डिफाइन करना होगा like this. You can define it like this, ना, submicroscopic particles suspended in the cytoplasm and perform various functions in our body are called cell organelles. ठीक है, this is what you have to understand. Definition of cell organelles, सब माइक्रोस्कोपिक पार्टिकल्स। तो फर्स्ट इज एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम। चलिए आपको डायग्रामेटिक्स रिप्रेजेंटेशन से दिखाते हैं यहाँ पे। कैन यू सी, unmute yourself and tell me, can you see network like structure which is extending from nucleus to the cell membrane? Can you see? Unmute and tell me, can you see network like structure extending from cell membrane to the nucleus membrane? है ना, you are seeing this. ये जो network like structure है, उस network को हम लोग सेल के लैंग्वेज में कहते हैं रेटिकुलम। क्या बोलते हैं उसको हम लोग? What do we call it? We call it reticulum. What do we call it? Reticulum. So you can see this all around you can see there is a network like structure which is extending from the nuclear membrane to the cell membrane. कहीं कहीं ये rough है, कहीं कहीं पे smooth है. So somewhere it is smooth because of absence of something, somewhere it is rough because of presence of something. So what is present on them? That present is particle is called ribosome. So some have got ribosomes scattered on their outer surface. ठीक है, so that outer surface पे ribosome होगा जिसके चलते they are looking rough. That is why they are called rough endoplasmic reticulum. RER. It is called rough endoplasmic reticulum. But in the other case, you see there are no such granules present on the surface. आप यहाँ plant cell में भी देखोगे, no such granules are present. जिस पे प्रेजेंट है वो रफ लग रहा है, जिस पे प्रेजेंट नहीं है वो स्मूथ लग रहा है. सो द अदर वन इज कॉल्ड स्मूथ एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम. इट इज कॉल्ड SER. अंडरस्टूड? सो SER and RER are the two kinds of ERs, endoplasmic reticulum. अब बात करते हैं ये बनते कैसे हैं. सो दे आर अ पाइप लाइक स्ट्रक्चर. एक्चुअली वो अंदर से हॉलो होते हैं और आउटर से मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड होते हैं. सो वो जो पाइप लाइक होने के चलते क्या होगा, दे आर प्रोवाइडिंग, फर्स्ट फंक्शन नोट करना, they provide path for what? Path for transportation of what? Of nutrients. ठीक है, of transportation of nutrients. Where from? Nutrients which are coming from outside the cell. कहाँ जाते हैं? To the nucleus. और nucleus में से फिर वापस क्या लाते हैं? From nucleus they take protein, और क्योंकि वहां पर कौन है, राइबोसोम्स भी हैं। तो वहां से राइबोसोम्स के जो बने हुए चाहे प्रोटीन जब जो भी सेल के अंदर बन रहे हैं, तो ये राइबोसोम्स क्या करते हैं, राइबोसोम्स आर द साइट ऑफ प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस। सो अगर जो प्रोटीन बनेगा तो उसको कहाँ ले जाएगा, सेल मेम्ब्रेन। किस लिए, बिकॉज प्रोटीन इज हेल्पफुल फॉर फॉर्मेशन ऑफ सेल मेम्ब्रेन। सो सेल मेम्ब्रेन इज मेड अप ऑफ प्रोटीन। वो प्रोटीन कहाँ से आ रहा है, फ्रॉम राइबोसोम। who carries, who provides path, endoplasmic reticulum. So पहला बात, they provide path for the transportation of nutrients, ठीक है। Second important part, second point is that since RER accommodates ribosome, so RER accommodates ribosome and ribosome is the site of protein synthesis. So इसका मतलब RER helps in protein synthesis, ये भी point number 2. So function में point number 2, RER helps in protein synthesis. Number 3, left smooth endoplasmic reticulum के ऊपर राइबोसोम नहीं है तो क्या वो यूजलेस है, नहीं। दे हेल्प इन लिपिड सिंथेसिस, नोट डाउन इन द पॉइंट नंबर 3, लिपिड सिंथेसिस, SER helps in lipid synthesis. Also detoxification, लिखना, detoxification. अब पॉइंट नंबर 4 लिखो। इन द पॉइंट नंबर 4 you write that they help in giving support, they help in giving support to the cell, they help in giving support to the cell. ये सब आपका functions of endoplasmic reticulum. Good. So in this way we can describe endoplasmic reticulum. Let us go ahead with the next submicroscopic particle or next cell organelle. There is one small organelle present in only plant cell, exclusively present in the plant cell, right? That is called plastids. Now plastids में आपको एक बात समझना पड़ेगा, ये देखो आपका plastids are those organelles which have own genetic material, उनके अंदर एक अपना DNA होता है, ठीक है, और वो कई प्रकार के होते हैं. There are three types. First is green color, chloroplast, उसका नाम होता है क्लोरोप्लास्ट. ये देखो लिखा हुआ है क्लोरोप्लास्ट, ये सब क्लोरोप्लास्ट है. तो क्लोरो से कुछ याद आया? Do you remember something about with chloro? Do you remember something about chloro? Where is chloro used? Where is chloro used? Chlorophyll helps in photosynthesis. करेक्ट. सो अगर वो क्लोरोफिल है, वो फोटोसिंथेसिस, तो इसके अंदर क्लोरोफिल पाए जाते हैं. अच्छा, दूसरा होता है, I have written here for you the plastid number 2 is a leucoplast. Leucoplast ये क्या करते हैं, for the storage and modification of glucose and some other nutrients, ठीक है. स्टोरेज एंड मॉडिफिकेशन कर सकते हो या उसका प्रोसेसिंग कह सकते हो. आपने नोट्स में लिखना है प्रोसेसिंग एंड स्टोरेज ऑफ द न्यूट्रिएंट्स. क्लोरोप्लास्ट हेल्प्स इन फोटोसिंथेसिस. द क्रोमो का मतलब होता है कलर, सो दे गिव कलर टू द फ्रूट्स एंड फ्लावर्स, so that's for the chromoplast. So there are three kinds of plastids, Lord, namely chloroplast, leucoplast and chromoplast. Don't write hansaplast, understood? Don't write handyplast, they are first aid kits. So here my dear students, we find plastids. अब plastids के बाद क्या देखना है, plastids के बाद देखना है, we have to see mitochondria. How many of you know the definition of respiration? How many of you know the definition of respiration? Give your thumbs up. How many of you know the definition of respiration? Give your thumbs up. Definition of respiration. The definition of respiration is process of production of energy. So the production of energy is the capacity to do work, but where is this energy produced? So this energy is produced by the process of respiration. कहाँ? It takes place in the cell. Cell के अंदर कहाँ? Two regions. One takes place in the cytoplasm and another takes place in the mitochondria. So the most complex process of respiration that allows the production of high amount of energy, that is actually mitochondria. So कोई भी फैक्ट्री में जहाँ पे एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस होता है उसको क्या बोलते हैं? पावर हाउस. So that is why mitochondria is called power house of the cell. I hope you are understanding, right? So mitochondria is a place where एनर्जी प्रोडक्शन टेक्स प्लेस और उसके अंदर पेरोक्सिसोम्स होते हैं जो उनको हेल्प करते हैं. एंड नॉट ओनली दिस, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया इज अ डबल मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड स्ट्रक्चर. डबल मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड. तो अभी आपने जो दो ऑर्गेनल्स का नाम सुना, वन इज द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया एंड अदर इज द प्लास्टिड. इन दोनों का अपना डीएनए होता है apart from nucleus. They too also have their own DNA. तो डीएनए दो तरह के हो गए हैं, एक होता है ऑर्गेनल डीएनए और एक होता है न्यूक्लियर डीएनए. सो द वन विच इज प्रेजेंट इन द न्यूक्लियस आर कॉल्ड न्यूक्लियर डीएनए and another are called organelle DNA. So these are the two organelles which have their own DNA. Understood? So please keep your pencil and pen notepad with you. Keep noting down all those things, right? Next other thing I want to make you understand is that ribosomes. Ribosomes जैसे भी हमने कुछ देर पहले डिस्कस किया था, in the endoplasmic reticulum or in the cytoplasm. On the endoplasmic reticulum, it's not correct to say in, it's correct to say on. So endoplasmic reticulum के ऊपर some small granules are embedded and they act as protein synthesis and also in helping in formation of RNA. RNA का मतलब होता है राइबोन्यूक्लिक एसिड. So these are the sites of protein synthesis and they help in RNA formation also. ठीक है? So they are the small granules like structure either scattered in the cytoplasm or embedded on the endoplasmic reticulum. Embedded on the endoplasmic reticulum or floating in the cytoplasm, and they act as a site of protein synthesis and they help in formation of RNA also. ठीक है? तो ये हो गया आपका राइबोसोम्स. राइबोसोम्स का नाम आपने सुना था यूकैरियोटिक सेल्स एंड प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल्स के स्लाइड्स में. तो वो दो तरह के होते हैं, एक होते हैं 70S टाइप, एक होते हैं 80S टाइप. So prokaryotic cells have got 70S type ribosomes whereas the eukaryotic cells have got 80S type. इसका रिसर्च करने के लिए आपको अपना स्मार्टफोन का यूज करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा. ठीक है? So do research on this. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं आप. In the next part we see Golgi bodies. ये Golgi bodies क्या होते हैं? Golgi is the surname of one scientist whose name was Camillo Golgi. ठीक है? And these structures were found by him. So the structures were named after his surname. So that is why they became Golgi apparatus. Golgi is the surname of one scientist whose name was Camillo Golgi. अब ये Golgi apparatus करते क्या हैं? अभी आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि ये दिखते कैसे हैं पहले. So how do they look like? Can you see some sac-like structures piled upon each other? है ना? Can you see some structure which looks like sacs piled upon each other? Empty sac. यहाँ भी देख लो न्यूक्लियस के पास और यहाँ भी देखो न्यूक्लियस के पास. In the near point of nucleus, you will see some structures which look like empty sacs kept upon each other. तो ये जो होते हैं इनको कहते हैं गोल्गी apparatus. प्लांट्स के अंदर इनको हम लोग डिक्टियोसोम्स के नाम से जानते हैं. In plants, we know them as dictyosomes. Dictyosomes. ठीक है? It is mentioned in your book. Some of the books also mention this word. In the plants, they are named as dictyosomes. तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि what they are having the curve shaped ना, the curve shaped होते हैं. एक होता है receiving part और एक होता है transporting part. तो ये part receive करता है और ये part transport कर देता है. ठीक है ना? सिस ट्रांस उनके दो फेजेस होते हैं, एक होते हैं सिस और एक होते हैं ट्रांस. सो नया नया वर्ड्स आपको हम इंजेक्ट कर रहे हैं. प्लीज फाइंड आउट दिस टर्म्स इन द रिसर्च पर्पस. सो नाउ इनके दो फेजेस होते हैं, एक होते हैं सिस फेज, एक होते हैं ट्रांस फेज. तो इनका काम क्या है? तो ट्रांस फेज सिस फेज क्या करता है? जितना भी प्रोटीन बना है या न्यूट्रिएंट्स बना है, these proteins and nutrients which are made by the ribosomes have to come first of all to the Golgi bodies. अब Golgi bodies समझ लो कि एक स्टोरेज एंड पैकेजिंग सेंटर हो गया, राइट? फैक्ट्रीज मेकिंग goods going to go downs are packaging it, processing it and sending it to the market. So the Golgi apparatus are acting as godown and packaging and storaging modification center. ठीक है, so find out this sentence in your book, and that is actually called the storage and modification center of the cell is nothing but the Golgi apparatus, right? So Golgi apparatus do these things. Whatever protein or nutrients are coming from get made by the organelle, they are first coming to the Golgi apparatus, and then Golgi apparatus modify them and send it to the cell organelles. So all the particles are interconnected in the terms of functions and processing in the cell, right? Next, there is one another cell inclusion which is not present in the plant cell but only present in the animal cell, and that is called centrosomes. अब आपको एक चीज दिखना है यहाँ पे. Do you see this pointer, and do you assume that यहाँ पर कुछ sticks kept in the bundle? जैसे लग रहा है कि something, some sticks kept in bundle. Give me, unmute and tell me yes sir. Unmute and tell me yes sir. Can you see that these are sticks kept in bundle? ऐसा लग रहा है ना देखने में? Yeah, so they are like sticks kept in bundle. दूर से देखने से लग रहा है. So ऐसा structure you cannot see in the plant cell. You cannot see in the plant cell. ठीक है. So ये जो part है आपका, this is called centrosome, and this gets active only during the cell division. ये clearly visible होते हैं कब? Cell division के time में. Normally they are also not visible like that. ठीक है. So their roles are only in the cell division. How do they help in? They help in spindle formation during the cell division. They help in spindle formation during the cell division. क्रोमोसोम्स के अंदर में एक जगह सेंट्रियोल्स बनाते हैं ये लोग, ठीक है. सेंट्रोसोम से बनते हैं सेंट्रियोल्स. सो ये एक नॉर्मल आपको बेसिक क्लासेस है, आपके फाउंडेशन क्लासेस में ज्यादा जानकारी जरूरत नहीं है आपको. यू हैव टू गेट ओनली द लाइटर नॉलेज और फाउंडेशन नॉलेज ऑफ दिस टॉपिक. सो दिस इज द सेंट्रोसोम. नाउ नेक्स्ट इज द वैक्यूल. Small sac-like structures present in the cytoplasm, and they contain liquid food sap कहते हैं उसको, food sap, and some enzymes in them. They are called vacuoles. Now this is going to be interesting here, my dear students, because size of that vacuole is very small and number is also less in the case of animal cell, but in the case of plant cell, that's giant one, is a big, right? So the big vacuole के कारण क्या हुआ? Maximum volume has been occupied by the vacuole, and due to this the nucleus has been set aside. You can see the location of the nucleus is peripheral towards the boundary in the plant cell, but it is centrally located in the animal cell. Why? Because in the animal cell vacuoles are small and they are near the boundary, but in the plant cell vacuoles are large, so they are occupying a large space area. Then nucleus has to be shifted towards the side. जैसे ही आप ऐसे देखोगे, without any labeling, you can imagine and observe and also come to conclusion which one is the plant cell and which one is the animal cell. एक दूसरा hint, how to distinguish between plant cell and animal cell. Animal cell will not have a rigid outer layer, but the plant cell has got rigid outer layer which is looking like a well defined pentagon, na, or the vertex are seen here. So that is due to tough and rigid cell wall. ठीक है. So cell wall के कारण ये कैसे structure बन जाता है. So that is why it's easy for you to understand which one is the animal cell and which one is the plant cell. You can also identify centrosome is present, so it is animal cell. Also identify chloroplast is present, so this is plant cell, right? So there are some distinguishing factors which help you to identify the plant cell and animal cell. Last but not the least, there is a small sac-like structures present inside the cytoplasm, and that contain a lot of digestive enzymes in them. Lots of digestive enzymes in them. So वो digestive enzymes के कारण वो अपने आप में एक powerful organisms हो जाते हैं. ये देखिए यहाँ पे. So इसके अंदर क्या होता है? Hydrolytic enzyme. I would like you to note down this in the chat box. Hydrolytic enzyme. Hydrolytic enzymes इनके अंदर होते हैं. ठीक है. So these hydrolytic enzymes are enough powerful to digest many particles in the cell. Sometimes some non-working, non-performing assets present in the cell which are not working anymore, they are being digested by the lysosomes enzyme, and that's why they are called cleaning officers of the cell. ठीक है ना, cleaning officers. But sometimes क्या होता है, this lysosomes rupture and their enzymes engulf own cell, खुद की मर्डर कर देते हैं, खुद को मार देते हैं, तो ऐसा लगता है कि अपने ही सेल ऑर्गेनल्स को खा जाते हैं, तो इसके लिए इनको बोलते हैं सुसाइड बैग. Why do we call it suicide bag? Because they sometimes engulf own cells, right? So that's why they are called suicide bags. So this is the last organelle to be discussed in the today's class. I would like you all to go through the book once again, refresh your learnings, and come back prepared in the next class. In the next class, we will deal with nucleus in detail and difference between plant cell and animal cell, as well as some important points regarding difference between cell membrane and cell wall. All right, children, that's all for today. And thank you and have a great day ahead.